that slows them. When you see the problems, know it goes down. Mobbing through your city, boots on the ground. When you see the problems, know it goes down. Flipping through the scripts till my wrist is tired. When you see the problems, know it goes down. Mobbing through your city, boots on the ground. When you see the problems, know it goes down. Flipping through the scripts till my wrist is tired.
Straight cuts, yeah. Precepts landing uppercuts. Warriors, yeah. Can't give up these particles. Dry bones, no. I don't think they got the guts. Holy Ghost, ayy. Making demons bite the dust. Good on my loins. Ready for war, never ashamed. Saving the sheep. Heathens is mad, wanna be saved. Dropping the script. You gotta prove all that you say. Holding my pose. We never gonna be running away. I pull up in this strip, yeah. And I pull up my scripts, yeah. They come against us. Now look at them dip. Cause when the smoke clears and the battle's done, the victory goes to the Almighty One, yeah.
When you see the problems, know it goes down. Mobbing through your city, boots on the ground. When you see the problems, know it goes down. Flipping through the scripts till my wrist is tired. When you see the problems, know it goes down. Mobbing through your city, boots on the ground. When you see the problems, know it goes down. Flipping through the scripts till my wrist is tired. I got a scripture, gotta pull it. Scripture finger itching, gotta pull it. Never gotta doubt me, always ready, bruh. Line upon line, got the precepts, bruh. Boots on the ground, laced up. We come around, they duck. They ain't prepared for us. The word of God we trust. Look, I'm flipping till I got it. Yeah, like I'm acrobatic. Read, cut false prophets. Prove all things. I got a scripture, gotta tell you about. You don't know what you're talking about. Ain't full of script, but you run your mouth. You run your mouth. Don't know the Bible, but you run your mouth. Why you run your mouth? When you see the problems, know it goes down. Mobbing through your city, boots on the ground. When you see the problems, know it goes down. Flipping through the scripts till my wrist is tired. When you see the problems, know it goes down. Mobbing through your city, boots on the ground. When you see the problems, know it goes down. Flipping through the scripts till my wrist is tired.
From sun up till it goes down. Battlefield, this is showdown. Witness the victory blow out. Knocking them out in the first round. I got a script, I'm at the bullet. Step into me, you gotta be foolish. Chopping your doctrine free ruthless. Throwing them into the fire, they fruitless. You started this mess, no you can't hide. Pull up the camera, about to go live. Show them how we do it, line up on line. Your knowledge is live from a vagabond. Yeah, still wanna battle with me? Step in the cage or step in the ring. Put it in the shame, all you agree. Thinking I'm Peter precise when I swing. On your mark, get set, call it. We finish before you get started. You really a kid in the market, having no sympathy, it ain't a bargain. Another page that I'm peeling, tearing the roof off the ceiling. Armored up in ancient linens, royal like the beginning. Tonight it goes down, you get in this whipping.
When you see the problems, know it goes down. Mobbing through your city, boots on the ground. When you see the problems, know it goes down. Flipping through the scripts till my wrist is tired. When you see the problems, know it goes down. Mobbing through your city, boots on the ground. When you see the problems, know it goes down. Flipping through the scripts till my wrist is tired. Part of me a little different. Most of the time I'm in the spirit. Sometimes I feel like I belong here. I've been a place I wanna talk with. You can compare me to another man. So you hear what you don't understand. Real recognize real on me. Go get your thoughts so what you feel on me? It took a man just to raise one. So I looked in the book and I became one. What would it take for me to change from being viewed as the same one? Never met, just never had it. I had a dream I was in heaven. White robes in a chariot. Where this dream never happened. Better when alone, better in the zone. Done with the going out, carrying on. Ain't got no time for no flagic. Ain't got no room for no problems. You gonna count me out, no problems. I like it when we get along, no arguing. She just the same. And I can't complain. She just the same. We ain't giving up on us. I love change. I love everything about us. Ain't going back to old us. Ain't nothing come between us. Scripture say when you find a wife, you find a good thing, a new thing, not a hoop thing. Never do things that I have you question why you doing them. Never was a dumb one. When you find that someone, use God's word so you'll look dumb. The world is watching you now. Everywhere you go, turn, everywhere you look, and they wanna know what makes you tick, 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 tick. Gotta know it makes you tick, 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 tick. Let them know it's God's laws now. Good vibes in the area. Well, man, I fight and funny start.
All right, Israel. Let's stand and face Jerusalem. Men of Israel, blow trumpet. O God of our fathers, of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, we come before you this day, O Lord, with humble and contrite spirits, Father, asking you to build us up, O Lord, in strength, in might, in wisdom, in understanding, Father, that we may fight for our people, O Lord, that we may go out to these nations, O Lord. Bless the men that go to camp with wisdom, with strength, with honor and might in thy holy name, Father, that they may be strong against our enemies, O Lord, and all those that hate us, Father. We ask, O Lord, that you bless those that hate us, Father, that you also bless the weak, the sick, Father, that you build up our strength, O Lord. I pray for the bishops, the deacons, the captains, the officers, the soldiers, the brothers and the women and the children, O Lord. Strengthen us in thy mighty hand. Strengthen all those who are weak. And let the congregation say, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Amen. Men of Israel, sons of God, patient saints, sons of God, hand salute. Salute down. Face sisters. To the honorable daughters of Sarah, the mothers of Israel, we say, Shalom.
All right, Shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ. Bless how y'all doing this Sabbath. We're going to get right into this class. This class is called The Final Frontier to Perfection. The Final Frontier to Perfection. because we're supposed to be striving to be perfect. That's one of the reasons we're here, to strive to be perfect. That's one of the commandments Christ gave us, says, be ye. Matter of fact, let's read it. Let's get it first. Matthew 5:48.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
He says, be ye therefore perfect. But the thing that's going to stop us from perfection is our minds. That's the final frontier. We can put on fringes. That's easy. We can do that. We can get our fringes on. We can make sure as men we grow our beards out. We don't even have to do anything to do that. Just let it grow. That's it. We did it. It's easy. But the hard thing, the thing that we got to overcome, that thing that's going to hinder us is our mind. Because that's where everything starts. That's where it begins. That's where sin begins, the thought process. Like a brother, he may be in the midst of lust, but where did it start first? It started in his mind first. He thought it. He thought about it. He saw somebody. He looked at her. He enjoyed looking at her. And about 2 seconds later, he was already thinking about sex. It don't take us about a minute. It takes us a couple of seconds. It's already to sex. It can go straight from shalom to him having a whole imaginary thing with you that you don't even know about. So it's very quick. We gotta conquer the mind. So I want to do something though, real quick. Look up, put in Google. I want you to search for being perfect in Google. I want you to search being perfect. Let's see what that says. Being perfect. Let's see. Scroll down. I want to see these articles. Can you blow that up? Can that get any bigger? Yeah, let's see this, because I want to see the articles. All right, cool. Oh, wait. Go back up. It says, start at the videos. I want you to click the videos. I just want to see what they're talking about with being perfect. First thing says what?
The problem with being perfect.
The problem with being perfect. Just putting in being perfect, they're telling you it's a problem. What's the next one?
Why being perfect is holding you back.
It's holding you back to try to be perfect. What's the next one? Oh, the same thing. Scroll down. Let's see if there's any more. Let's see, is that just what's popping up for the videos? No. Scroll. Don't. Yep. Now let's get the articles.
Why being perfect will actually screw you over.
Wait a minute. So being perfect is a hindrance to you is what Esau is pushing. Esau telling you, no, don't even try that. It's going to hurt you. Come on.
How perfectionism can be destructive.
You see the theme that they have. You don't see one thing that says, hey, you should strive to be perfect. Why wouldn't you want to be perfect? Read. Next one. Oh, okay. Now, scroll down. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Look at this one. No. Right there.
Want to be happy? Stop trying to be perfect.
Listen, that one is from CNN, the Caucasian News Network, telling you, if you want to be happy, stop trying to be perfect. Guess what they told you that? They tell you that on Sunday, too. Stop trying to be perfect. Don't keep those laws. You don't want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Why would you do that? No. What did his name, Klepto, what did he tell those people? He's like, you actually in sin, or what did he say?
Yep, you're actually.
You know what he said?
Yeah, he says that you're actually in sin if you keep the commandments.
Basically, you are walking away from salvation by walking towards the commandments. The scriptures tell you, read that again. Read it. So that means he don't believe in Christ, because Christ said, read it again.
Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
Wait a minute. He's telling you, strive to be more like the Father. Esau tells you, don't strive to be like the Father. Don't keep the laws. Don't keep the statutes and commandments. No, don't do any of them things. It's going to hurt you. It's destructive to you. It's a problem. And then a lot of our people, they fall right into it. And this is the same thing they teach you in them churches, the exact same thing. So now let's see, because I want to get Genesis 17, 1 and 2, because Abraham was actually perfect. He walked perfect with the Most High. He's the only person that the Most High called and considered to be his friend. He said that about no one else. He said, Abraham, my friend. Let's get that.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 17, and verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me, and be thou perfect. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly.
So he says, Abraham, if you walk with me and be perfect, I will do what? What would he do if Abraham walked perfect?
I will make my covenant between me and thee.
He will make a covenant between him and Abraham if, that's a stipulation because it's an agreement. That's what a covenant is an agreement. He says, per this agreement, if Abraham, you walk perfect, then I will do X, Y, Z. Same way with some of y'all and even some of y'all in the truth. If you good in school, I'll get you something for Christmas, but I'm going to call it the feast of dedication. And don't tell nobody at the school. I'm just messing with you. But the point is, it's a covenant. It's an agreement between them. And for him to get the reward of the covenant, he had to keep his part, which is to do what? Be perfect. So finish that where you was at.
And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly.
He says, if you are perfect, I will multiply you exceedingly. Drop down to verse 7. We're going to go to 7 and 9.
Verse 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed.
Wait a minute. He says what?
And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee.
He says, wait a minute. This is all still part of the stipulations. He's like, listen, and also if you are able to walk perfect, I'm gonna make my covenant not just with you, it's gonna pass on to your seed. Come on. He don't even have kids yet, but go ahead.
After thee in their generations, for an everlasting covenant.
This covenant is gonna be forever. If, Abraham, you are able to be perfect. Come on.
To be a God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee. And I will give unto thee, and to thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger.
And also, I'm going to give you land on top of that. Read all the way through 10.
All the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And God said unto Abram, thou shalt keep my covenant therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man-child among you shall be circumcised.
And a part of this covenant, also what I want you to do is I want you to have all of your men, children, the men among you, I want them circumcised. Abraham did this as well. Was that the end of 10?
Yes, sir.
All right, drop down to 23.
Verse 23. And Abram took Ishmael his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money, every male among the men of Abram's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the self-same day, as God had said unto him.
So Abraham made haste. He grabbed his son, said, listen, I just got this commandment, not even a commandment, I got a covenant with the Most High, that if I keep this commandment, then he's going to give me this land, he's going to give me this, what was some of the stuff he said in the beginning? It slipped my mind now.
He says that, and Abram took Ishmael's son and all.
No. He's saying basically, if you be perfect, I'm going to make this covenant with you. So he did make that covenant with him. And guess what? How do we know that Abraham walked perfect? Like, how do we know it? Why? Because we're here. We're under the covenant. We know that it passed on to us. And the reason it passed on to us, because Abraham was able to walk perfect. It would not have gone any further. That's the end of the agreement. He told Abraham, listen, if you are able to do this, then I will do this. That means Abraham was able to complete it because the Most High upheld his side of the bargain. He upheld the covenant. So guess what? He was able to walk perfect. Now let's get Genesis 26, and we're going to get 1 through 5. Oh, I need my glasses. Hold on. You can go ahead and read.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 26, and verse 1. And there was a famine in the land, beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Lord appeared unto him, and said, Go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws.
So he is also now, you see that the covenant passed from Abraham down to Isaac. And he's letting you know that because your father actually kept the covenant that I made with him, now it's passing on to you, and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z for you. But that would not exist had Abraham not walked perfect. So everything that we're hoping for, salvation, we all want to be saved. We all want to get out of here. We all want to have the nations, I hope we all want to have the nations up under our boot. I know I want that. I don't know about nobody else. And anybody that, listen, I don't want no slaves in the kingdom. You can get yours to me. I'll take them. No problem. I'll deal with them. But those that are waiting on salvation, we can only be waiting on salvation and hoping for salvation is due to the fact that Abraham walked perfect. Because had he not, it wouldn't exist in this time. Everything would be over. It would be a wrap. But the reason we continue on is because he did it. Now, let's get 1 Kings 8 and 61.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 8, and verse 61. Let your heart therefore be perfect with the Lord our God, to walk in his statutes and to keep his commandments as at this day.
So Solomon, after he's got done praying, he looked and he turned to the people, make sure your heart, meaning your mind, is perfect with God. Because why? That's where it's going to be affected at first, in your mind. He's like, make sure it is perfect with God. Why? One, because he understood we still under the covenant because it already passed down through the perfection of Abraham. And he's saying, listen, we want to continue in this. Make sure you keep the commandments. Keep your mind perfect with the Most High. Why? Because that's where you're going to be attacked at. The attack is going to come in your mind. You're going to believe the thing that you're being attacked with. It's going to make sense to you, even though it won't make sense to anybody else. But to you, it's going to make sense. But let's get that. Let's get this. I got a video, YouTube video, about your thoughts determine your actions. Let's get that. Because that's where it starts. It starts in your mind. Your heart, your mind is what's going to determine your actions. Started at the beginning. So, let's see this video.
Hi there. Did you know that you can increase your self-confidence and self-esteem immediately by thinking about your good points? Perhaps the greatest discovery in all of human history is the fact that you become what you think about most of the time. Emerson said that a person is what he thinks about all day long.
Hold on, wait a second, hold on. He said that you're going to become what you think about most of the time. Brothers, if you think about whoredom most of the time, you're going to become a whoremonger. Sisters, if you think about the hatred you have towards another sister because of whatever slights and things, that you're going to become a murderer. You're going to become the thing that you think about the most. That's why if you think about the most thing that's on your mind, the forefront of your mind is getting the kingdom, guess where you're going to be? Because it's going to control your actions. But go ahead, let's get some more of this video.
The way you think determines the way you react and respond to things happening around you. The way you react
Roll
and
it back to the
respond
beginning real
determines
quick. And start it over. Let's get it from the beginning.
Hi there. Did you know that you can increase your self-confidence and self-esteem immediately by thinking about your good points? Perhaps the greatest discovery in all of human history is the fact that you become what you think about most of the time. Emerson said that a person is what he thinks about all day long. The way you think determines the way you react and respond to things happening around you. The way you react and respond determines your emotions. Your emotions determine your actions, and your actions determine your results. Everything begins with your thinking. Successful high-performance people think about positive, constructive things most of the time. They think about what they want and how to get it most of the time. Especially, they maintain high levels of self-acceptance and self-esteem by thinking about their good points, by thinking about the positive qualities and characteristics that they have and that you have, and which they have developed over the course of their lifetimes. Unhappy, negative people think and talk about all the things that they've done wrong, the mistakes they've made, and the people that have hurt them in the past. Happy, confident people instead think about all the positive things they've done and achieved over their lifetimes, and they look forward to accomplishing even more in the future.
All right, that's enough. That's enough of that. So basically, he's telling you that you are the product of what is in your mind. The thoughts that you think, you are the product of that. You are the result of what you're thinking about most of the time. So now you got to ask yourself, what am I thinking about most of the time? Am I thinking about the law, statutes, and commandments? Am I following Numbers 15? Right? I got the fringes on my clothes to what? To remember, to keep it in my mind. Am I thinking about the laws? Am I about these laws? Am I thinking about it in every action and everything I'm doing? Or am I mostly thinking about something else? That you're going to become the thing that you think about the most. Let's get this. I got an article. It says how to control your mind. Let's see that. It's from Healthline. You need that Jeopardy music playing while you're waiting on articles and stuff. All right. We can turn the Jeopardy music off. All right, let's go.
10 tips to take charge of your mindset and control your thoughts. Scroll up.
Scroll down, brothers. Go up. Go up. Yep.
So you want to control your mind. Maybe you want to stop thinking about a recent breakup or feel discouraged from a year of physical distancing and want to embrace a more hopeful perspective. Unwanted thoughts can cause plenty of frustration and distress. You're not alone in wanting to make them go away. It's normal to have trouble convincing yourself to look up when feeling downcast in the face of stress and other challenges. While actual mind control belongs in the realm of science fiction, you can work to change your mindset. It might take some effort to learn the trick of regaining control, but the 10 strategies below can help. First, identify the thoughts you want to change. It goes without saying that you have to figure out what's on your mind before you can begin to control it.
So you have to see where you're going off in your mind so you can identify it and then have the ability to control it. And that means you got to be honest with yourself. You can't say, well, oh, I'm not doing that. You get defensive about it with yourself because your mind will tell you, yeah, I notice you're thinking about, some lascivious thoughts. I'm using that because I know that brothers, that's what they think about. They thinking about it now as I'm saying it. They're like, yeah, sure, yeah, it was. Yeah, but you got to be able to identify that first and recognize it for what it is and then say, okay, wait a minute, that's off. That's, according to scriptures, I shouldn't be thinking this way. And then you can start the process to using that, to fixing that, to getting around that thing. But if you can never identify it, how are you going to fix it? That's like you go to the hospital, you go to the doctor. Well, the first thing they do, they start testing you. They want to see exactly what's wrong, what's going on. They're going to test you. They're going to give you an MRI. They're going to give you an ultrasound. They're going to give you all types of different batteries of tests. They're going to test your heart rate. They're going to test your blood pressure, all this stuff. They start testing you as soon as you walk in the door. Why? They got to try to get to the bottom of what's the problem. So they can start to, once they identify it, now we can target our approach to fixing it. We just can't give you a random bunch of pills. Just take this. Like somebody might tell you, oh, well, I'm going through some things. They don't tell you what the things are. So what you going to tell them? Just read the scriptures more. No, that means I just gave you Percocet, I just gave you Oxycodone, I gave you immune booster shot. I gave you everything I got because I'm just telling you, just take everything. Because you didn't give me an idea what it is you're battling. How can I give you the exact medicine if you don't give me the exact problem? Or if I can't identify what that problem is? Same thing goes for this, but go ahead, keep reading.
Nearly everyone experiencing discouraging thoughts or emotional setbacks from time to time. If you're currently experiencing some life changes, you might find it even harder to maintain control over spiraling thoughts of your overall mindset. Occasionally, intrusive thoughts are pretty normal too. They can be distressing, but they often pass as quickly as they intrude.
All right, now scroll down for me. Scroll down. This is what I want. Let's get this. I want those go up, go just a hair. Okay, so let's get these troubling patterns. Let's see this.
All right, other troubling thought patterns might include rumination or looping thoughts, negative self-talk, cognitive biases, or errors in thinking that can affect your choices or interactions. Mm-hmm. Next, a fixed pessimistic outlook.
I want to deal with this cognitive biases. So I think you can click on that and it should open up to another article. Yes. Now let's get this. Let's get this article.
Is cognitive bias affecting your decisions?
Go back up. What's up there? Did I miss something? I'm sorry. Okay, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go down. Go down. Go down. I want to read from this point.
What is cognitive bias? A cognitive bias is a flaw in your reasoning that leads you to misinterpret information from the world around you and to come to an inaccurate conclusion.
So wait a minute. That means that you can be taking in information. That information that you take in will be filtered, for lack of a better way. It'll go through your personal filter. And once it goes through your filter, it's going to become through your thought process as whatever your filter filters it as. But the way you filtered it could be wrong. It could be completely wrong, but that's because that's the way your filter is set up. Go ahead.
Because you are flooded with information from millions of sources throughout the day, your brain develops ranking systems to decide which information deserves your attention and which information is important enough to store in memory. It also creates shortcuts meant to cut down on the time it takes for you to process information. The problem is that the shortcuts and ranking system aren't always perfectly objective because their architecture is uniquely adapted to your life experiences.
So it's uniquely adapted to your personal filter. That means, like it's an example, like it was a picture I saw it on Facebook, and it was a black and white photo of somebody that when you look at it, the way it's drawn, it looked like one person is coming at the other person to stab them. But when you zoom out and see the whole picture, it's actually the person chasing him one person is being chased, and the other person is running away, and the person behind them is the one that's coming to do the stabbing. But just the way the picture is set up, it looks the opposite when you only see part of the picture. And this is what happens when your filter is wrong. Now I'll give you some examples. Sisters, I use sisters. Sisters might be overhearing parts of a conversation, and they may have heard their name, or what sounded like they heard their name as they walked by a room or whatever it may be, and instantly, and let's say somebody laughs inside that room. They don't hear what they're talking about. They just heard, you know, yeah, and laughter break out. Did they go find out what was actually happening in that environment, or did they just run it through their own filter and say, those bees in there talking about me? And they'll go and walk the rest of their life on that without ever going and getting clarity to seeing what's going on. Brothers, same way. Brothers, yeah, you know, and Maya. They didn't hear a name. All they heard was Maya. My name has got a Maya in it. They talking about me. Oh, okay. Oh, that's how it is. All right, that's all right. I'm going to see them. I'm going to see you later. Now he got that instant hatred in his heart and don't even have the whole picture. Don't even know what was talking about. The sisters in the room, yeah, they laughed because they was like, hey, we're going to buy one of those ayahs a gift. But you didn't hear that part. And you might not have been the ayah either with your attitude, because if this is how you process things, this is the way you always do things. You're always off because your filters are dirty. You have to cleanse your filters. How do you cleanse your filters? How do you clean them? How do you clean your filters to reset your mind? Psalms 19:7. This is a filtration system right here.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
The law of the Lord is perfect to convert your soul. Meaning, because where's your soul? Your soul is in your mind. If you have a dirty filter in your mind, what does that make your soul? So how do you clean it? You need to keep the law, statutes, and commandments in your mind, know how to love one another according to the scriptures, which is the greatest commandment, loving the Most High and loving your brothers and sisters, right? The two greatest commandments, you got to be able to apply those. Guess what? Your filter will be clean. Now when you walk by and you hear some brothers talking and you thought what you heard was your name and some laughter and this and that, and you're like, wait a minute. First, you're going to stop. You're going to analyze the situation. Who's in the conversation? Okay, I don't have any problems with them. They don't never seem to have any problems with me. We've never had any issues. Why would I instantly think that they're saying something negative about me? Let me go over here and see what they're talking about. Not to examine, not to make sure they're not talking about me behind my back. No, all right, hey, this is my brothers. Let me join them in the conversation. Look like they having a good time. All right, hey, let me find out. Oh, they wasn't talking about me at all. They wasn't talking about anything negative. So now I'm starting to filter. I'm starting to cleanse my filter. But if you constantly got negative, evil thoughts in your mind, and you only one that knows, because we can't see what you're thinking. We can only read your actions. We can only see what comes from your thinking. We can only see the fruit that you bear of your thinking. And then we can say, oh, that person got the devil on them. It can be in your countenance, because if you got evil thoughts on your mind, you can't change your face. You can't make your face look like it's righteous and your mind is evil. It's going to show. We're going to be able to see it. But let's get some more. Genesis 6 and 5.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
At this point in time, the Most High looked and he saw all the people of the earth, and he said that the only thing on their mind is evil continually, meaning this is the only thing they think of is evil all the time. They have no filter. That's why some people be like, oh, I don't have no filter today. Yeah, you're right. You don't have no filter. You either don't have none or yours is so dirty and gummed up. And matter of fact, I want you to look on Google. Let's look on Google. I want you to search Google Images for clogged filter system. Let's see that. Because this is how some of our people's minds look. Spiritually, this is what your mind will look like. Let's see what this could be. No, wait. We ain't got to zoom in. Just look. Just look at that. Look at that second picture. Clogged air filter. Look at that. I don't know if you can blow that image up. I mean, this is how you're trying to get the air to be cleaned coming through that. No, even if the air was just a little dirty coming through that, by the time it passed through it, it's worse. It's worse. Go back out. Let's see it. It was another one I saw. Another image. That one below. Nope, that one. Because it's showing you, let's see that image. It's showing you an example of a clean filter and a dirty filter sitting next to each other. Let's blow that up, if y'all can. Yeah. Now let's look at this. Which one do you think is going to clean the air better? One of them is going to defile the air. Even if clean air passed through it, it's going to come out defiled. It has no choice because it's defiled. And this is your mind. If you have not taken the steps to cleanse your mind, it is defiled. And information as it flows through it is going to come out what? Defiled. If your filter is clean, when information comes through that filter, it's going to come out clean. What's the scripture say? To the pure, all things are pure. But when your mind is defiled, everything that goes through it and comes out of it is going to come out defiled. It's no options for anything else. You can't get a clean thing from an unclean. It's impossible. Scriptures tell us this. So now let's go to Mark 7 and verse 20. We're going to read 20 to 23.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 20. And he said, that which cometh out of the man, that defileth the man. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these things come from within and defile the man.
All of this stuff comes from within you. Meaning what? Your filter is dirty. You have to clean these things out of your filter so that now the things that come out of you won't be defiled. Meaning your communication will be pure. Your communication will be good. Your actions will match this pure communication. But when your mind is clogged up with this stuff, there's no way. There's no way for a clean thing to come from an unclean. Now, let's do this because I want to focus on each one of these areas that's named because you got adulteries, fornications, lasciviousness. That all goes together. That's a group. That goes together because adultery and fornication and lasciviousness all work hand in hand. I don't care. All of them going to start in the middle with fornication to get you to lasciviousness, to get you to adulteries. And adulteries will lead you to the lasciviousness and back and forth. They all work hand in hand. Murders and the evil eye, that goes hand in hand because you had to start with the evil eye to get you to the point of murder. Blasphemy and thefts go together. Deceit and blasphemy go together. Pride and foolishness go together. So I want to touch these things because, matter of fact, let's get Psalms 10 and verse 2 because everything starts, and all of this stuff starts with pride. So I want to start I just want to touch this real quick, because pride is the beginning of all of this stuff. 10:2, and then we're going to read through the 10.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10 and verse 2. The wickedness in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the device that they may have. Excuse me, let me read it over.
Let's start from the top.
The wickedness in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts.
God is not in all the thoughts of the wicked. This is what defiles your filter. This is what's defiling your mind, because you don't have God in all of your thoughts. If God was in every one of your thoughts, even, like I said, when you're in the midst of something that you may not know exactly what's going on, and you may not be 100% sure about something, but this is the way you tell. Was God in all of your thoughts? Did you say, wait a minute, this is how I'm supposed to do things according to Scripture. I'm supposed to deal with this person like this. I'm supposed to deal with this information like that. I'm supposed to, run all of these things through the filter of the Scriptures to make sure that God is in all of my thoughts. Or did I say, I think this, I feel that. This is what I think. This is who cares about what a person thinks? Nobody cares about what you think. We care about facts, information, whatever it may be, to make sure that we're doing things the right way. And you could tell, either you're going to be running it through God's filter, or you're going to be running it through your own dirty filter. Something clean may try to pass through that dirty filter, but it's going to come out defiled. And that's what's going to come out of you. It's going to come out of your actions, because you are now defiled. And you may not even know it, because you don't see your filter physically, but you don't realize that you're defiled. But this is why we got to learn how to clean it. Come on.
Verse 5. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above, out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor.
If you understand what we're reading right here in Psalm chapter 10, this summarizes, this is the root cause of everything that we read in Mark chapter 7. This is how it plays out, and it all goes back to pride. Somewhere your pride got involved. Your pride got involved to get you into adultery, into fornication. Your pride got involved to get you into deceit and lasciviousness or wickedness or what. It went back to that. So that's one of the main things you got to really learn to do is, can I humble myself? Can I sit back and actually stop and humble myself? Because if I cannot, guess what's happening? That's your pride. Your pride is getting in the way of your salvation. Your pride is leading you down a further and further darker path. Come on.
Verse 9. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones.
What does it mean by he humbles himself? He's not actually humbling himself. He's making himself appear humble to trap you up. So it's not even genuine. It's not a genuine humbling. And that's what you'll see on people. They'll act like they're humbling themselves, but then let's examine your actions. With your mouth, you may try to say something in a way like, or you might have them sisters that come in, and you know the most wicked ones is the ones with the lowest bow. I'm talking about, Bishop said this, bruh. I didn't even know. You know what I mean? I heard what he said, but I had nothing to witness. And then I witnessed it. It's the sisters that bow the lowest. You got to keep your eyes on them. Them brothers that try to come up to you with the, hey, shalom, I just wanted to, keep your eye on that brother. There's something off. You're going to try to be extra humble. Why? You have ulterior motives. But you got to watch these people. I'm telling you, keep your eyes open. The bishop is a prophet. He's seen this thing, he said it, and I've seen it with my own eyes now, and it's like, wow. Like, how did he, I don't even know what he looked at to see this, to make him even put the puzzle together like crazy. But it's true. It's very true. So now, I want to get something else, because we're going to deal with adultery, fornication, and lasciviousness. So I got a video. I have an article in there. An article about the science explains instant attraction. You should see an article. Let's get this.
Science explains instant attraction.
Come on.
The region in the brain that makes romantic decisions has been explored by many scientists around the world. And one of the latest findings is that the decision depends on whether a person looks similar to oneself. Not only if whether she or he has physical attractive features. Research showed when people saw a person who was physically attractive, the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, which sits closer to the front of the head, was activated. When people saw a face that tripped their trigger but didn't get great ratings from others, a different region activated. The rostromedial prefrontal cortex, a segment of the medial prefrontal cortex,
hold on, wait. Go back up. I can't let that go by. It said, go back up. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, stop. It says right there, it says, when people saw a face that tripped their trigger, but didn't get great ratings from others. Wait, that's not the part I want. Go ahead. Yeah, no, I wanted, that's exactly what I want. I'm sorry. When the face tripped their trigger. The face tripped their trigger. No, I'm sorry. We don't operate this way. This ain't talking about our people. This article is from where? Where is it? The Korea Herald. That works that way for them. What works the way for us? The booty. That's what tripped your trigger. The first thing the brother will sit back, he can look at your face first. But until he see your booty, that's when the trigger go off. And it's like, bing, that's the one.
It's your booty, not your beauty.
It's your booty, not your beauty. It's like the brothers will look, and I'm talking about have it down to, I can't lie. I used to have that thing down to a science when I was young. I could see your face, and I had a pretty good idea about how your booty was shaped. It's like, okay, all right, I could tell by your cheekbones, I could see this, and all right, your nose, all right, oh yeah, it's like this. And then me and my partner, which he ain't here today, be like, yep, no, yeah, this one. Yep, we'll be sitting there in the mall, walking through the shop, like, oh, hold on, this one. So look. Then we get set up ahead of time so we can look at your booty without looking like we looking at your booty. So we see you coming, so we turn around before you get there so we can already be facing the direction you're about to walk. So as you pass by, it didn't look like we did one of these numbers as you was going by. No, we was already looking this way, and you just happened to walk into our vision, and now we can see your booty. Listen, sisters, you got to watch, brothers. They still doing this. They still doing this. And you think you hiding your shape in that garment, and some of y'all, the ones that's actually trying to hide your shape in your garment, you think you are. And then the brothers, they trying to see through the garment. Watch them. These brothers is looking, and they first thing they looking at, they trying to assess your booty. Hey, if I'm lying, I don't know. Brothers, if y'all could tell me if I'm lying, let me know. But this is why, again, scriptures tell you to dress modestly. You know, you can't be worried about your beauty. Why? Because brothers, they looking through, it's a trigger. But go back to the article. I'm sorry, I had to reveal that, brothers. Go ahead.
All right. When people saw a face that tripped their trigger but didn't get great ratings from others, a different region activated.
Uh-huh.
The rostromedial prefrontal cortex, a segment of the medial prefrontal cortex located lower in the brain.
Uh-huh. So, scroll down a little bit. Scroll down. I'm just trying to see. I know it's something I wanted out of this, but I don't want to read through this whole thing. There's too much. All right, yeah, it's too much. Y'all can look this article up on your own and read the whole thing. All right, but go to that video that I got in there. It says, when do women decide to have sex? When is that decision made? I got a video for that. I need a button right here, too, for the, what you call it, for the Jeopardy music. The waiting on IT music button. So you can just get that playing. Everybody can be relax a little bit. Wait. All right, here we go.
Yeah, go ahead and put the disclaimer up there, brothers. There we go.
All right, let's see this.
I like to wait. It's measured, but then I decide in the moment,
Is this
and then
the
it's like,
beginning of the video?
oh, I'm.
Started from the beginning. This is the beginning? Okay, let's go.
I like to wait. It's measured, but then I decide in the moment, and then it's like, oh, I'm out of control, and it just happened, kind of a thing.
Wait a minute. What'd she say? She said that she made the decision already, but then in the moment comes, she acts like, oh, I'm just out of control and things happen. She already knew she was gonna do it before she got there. But go ahead, play the video.
I wouldn't go on a date with someone if I didn't see myself having sex with them. So the minute that I see them and they start talking to me, that's when I'm like, it could happen.
Well, first I do it after I know that they want to do it too.
In the moment.
That's how it usually happens. It's just like you're hanging out and then you're like, oh, we're gonna go there? Cool, let's do it.
I decide to have sex with someone when I know I'm not gonna regret it. I think you know before the date if you really like the person.
I fall into that trap of oh, I don't want to do it too soon because society, even if I want to do it.
I think all women know, from the bat, oh, he can get it, but then you don't know that you're gonna give it to him, but then, it's gonna happen, in that moment, on a date or something, you're like, okay, this is tonight that he is, in fact, gonna get it.
I'm not 4 dates in, I'm gonna have sex, I don't ever have a set
so
date.
Archaic.
I've only engaged in sex with people who I've dated for a long time or know really well.
Alcohol plays one of the largest roles in my sex life, I think.
I feel like recently for me, I've kind of been sex up on sex dates, if that makes any sense, where it's we both knew going into it we were gonna.
Dang! If waiting makes it more special for you, that's totally fine too.
I mean, you think about it in advance, but actually making the decision usually is either the kisses or a little further into the kisses.
There's that stigma where if you sleep with them too soon, they're not gonna want to see you anymore. I honestly think that's why I do it anyway.
Oh, we danced together. I guess you're kind of cute. Oh, we're going back to the same place. Oh, why not? Let's fuck.
There's usually a pause in the hooking up and then it's a conversation, at least for me, where I'm like, this is gonna happen.
And also when they consent.
Always get consent.
Consent.
I just need you to act right.
That's
so
it.
What's acting right?
Just doing all the things I want you to do and not being creepy and just acting
That's
right.
it, brothers. All right, so we see, and this is not just our women, this is women, period. They have already made a decision to go off into adultery, fornication, lasciviousness at the very beginning of meeting you because they looked at you and said, okay, I like you. And there was another one I think I had before that the woman said the only thing that would stop it is if he said something stupid. She made that decision before she even knew his name. She saw him coming up and he was about to speak to her. She already, oh yeah, he can get it. Brothers, they the same. Brothers thought about it before he spoke to you. Like I said, when he saw you walk by and he looked at your booty, he like, oh yeah, she can get it. And he already had 18 different thoughts about giving it to you before he said something to you. I'm talking, and I don't mean just thinking oh yeah, he just kind of, yeah, she can get it. No. He has a detailed thought, even pictures you naked. He gone. You see a brother sitting there and he thinking about a sister in his head, kind of get that brother out of here. He gone. He off somewhere else. But this is how it happens. It's like it's a thought, it's a vision first. You see what you want. You see what you want, and then you're going to act on it. You're going to act on it. It takes something to happen to make you not act on it. So how do you stop it? You got to fix the thought. Just like, okay, wait a minute, brothers. You in the middle, are you seeing, like I told y'all how me and that person used to do when we would be in the mall or something? You got to say to yourself, before you even start to even think of looking at her behind, nope. Like, this is the kind of stuff I do. I don't know about anyone else does. It's, we got to gird ourselves up when we out here because these women be dressed half naked. So it's like, you know what? I start at the hair. I'm sorry, I just got to tell you, I start at the hair. I'm not going down to no booties. No. Let me look at this hair. Why does she got somebody else's hair on her head? And guess what that start me doing? Cleaning my filter. Now it's harder for me to go to them other thoughts because I'm trying to look and figure out, why do you have pink and yellow hair? You a sister. You darker than me. Why do you? And I can't even get past that. And then it's like, and I'm stuck on the hair. And I'm like, why is it like that? And then I remember the video that Bishop showed in class that when you have put these chemicals to straighten your hair and these things in your hair, you actually have damaged your brain. It's physically damaged. They did autopsies and looked at the brains of our sisters and saw that their brains were physically damaged. So it's not even just a mental thing. No, you have physical damage to your brain. You were brain damaged. Actually. So it's like, wait a minute. These are the things that's flowing through my mind. So I see you, I'm like, brain damage. I'm not looking at you no more. It's like it took it away. And by that time, you're gone. You're out of my sight. I didn't get a chance to turn around and look at your booty. So I filtered it. So whatever technique you brothers use, you do something, but filter it. Don't let yourself get sunk off into those thoughts because what's coming with it? Lasciviousness, fornication, adulteries. Proverbs 30:18.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and verse 18. There be three things which are too wonderful for me, yea, four which I know not. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have not done no wickedness.
And he said, this is too wonderful to understand. Like, how can you go out, because this is an adulterous woman. This is, you understand, at this day and time, he's saying, listen, this is very difficult to understand, the way of an adulterous woman. How is she adulterous? Because she has a husband. She has a man at home. She doesn't have to be out here doing this. This is not common amongst our people. This is not what should be. I don't understand why I would see this woman out here committing this adultery. And not only that, when she get done, what did it say? Eating, she eateth. I'm not going to get no more descriptive than that. She eateth. And then she going to wipe her mouth and say, I didn't do nothing wrong. With that same mouth that she was eating with, she went back home. She kissed her husband. She kissed the kids. She was cooking food with that mouth over the bowl. Kissing the baby. That's what you say, kissing the baby?
Yeah, kissing the baby on the mouth.
Yeah. Mwah!
Taste the baby food and then
get taste it, you know what I mean? You know how mamas do, they take that and then you got a smudge on your face and then she wipe it off. She did that after she got done eating. Y'all hey, listen, I'm not getting descriptive. You work that out for yourself. Work out your own salvation on that one. But he's saying, I can't understand this. The most this makes no sense to me. You understand, Christ said he marveled when he looked at us. He looked at us and marveled. He created everything, and he looked at us and said, the hell is this? You didn't seen everything. You seen air. You know what I'm saying? You saw what air looked like. You know the weight of fire. And you looked at a nigga and said, what the hell is this? Look at these damn people. But it says too wonderful for him. So let's get some more. Let's go to 2 Samuel 11:1. 2 Samuel 11:1.
This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 11, and verse 1. And it came to pass, after the year was expired, at the time when kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him, and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried still at Jerusalem.
So David did not go out to the battle. He stayed back in Jerusalem. He's at that point where he's not even going out anymore. So guess what he got? Nothing but time. He's sitting there idle. He got his feet kicked up. He walking around. There's no battle around him. It's peaceful where we are. So he's just walking around with nothing but time on his hands. Let's see what he did with that time. Let's go to Sirach 33:27. Let's get that. Let's see what being idle does to us.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 27. Send him to labor, that he be not idle, for idleness teacheth much evil.
Idleness teaches much evil. The more time you got to just sit there and run through your dirty filter, your thoughts through that dirty filter, evil is going to come out. So that's why you got to keep your hands to the plow. That's why you got to keep something to do. You should always have something to do in this truth. You should never just be sitting there like, oh, I don't have nothing to do. You don't have nothing to do but just go further and further into evil. So you need something to do. That's why brothers, they have multiple offices. They're involved in multiple things. Because why? Because you don't want to be idle. Because your mind is going to go towards evil. And that's why brothers, married brothers, make sure you have your wives getting busy in the school. They should not just be coming in with their head wrap on, giving you the real super duper low bow, shalom, and then her forehead touch her knees when she do that, and she don't got nothing to do. She don't got nothing but evil in her mind. Make sure she putting in some work. But let's go back to 2 Samuel. So we know that being idle will make you think evil thoughts. Brings forth evil, right? 2 Samuel, let's go. We're going to read from verse 2 now.
2 Samuel chapter 11 and verse 2. And it came to pass in an evening tide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself. And the woman was very beautiful to look upon.
I told you it's that, listen, I told you before, with us, with Judah, I can't speak about all other tribes. I know about Judah. I think it's them too. But when it's Judah, you think he never seen Bathsheba before? He saw her before. He's seen her all the time. Hey, shalom, my lord, the king. And she saw him. But this time he saw something else. He saw that booty and he was like, oh, it's on. You know, that changed everything. He saw her face many times. She fully dressed. You know our sisters back then. They dress super modest. You can't see no part of her body. You don't see nothing. You don't even see her neck all over. They got dress up to here. So shalom, keep it moving. No, this time he saw some extra stuff. She was taking a shower. He's like, oh, this changes things. What happens next? Read.
Verse 3. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam?
So, the daughter of who?
Eliam.
Uh-huh.
The wife of Uriah the Hittite.
So, wait a minute. David like, hey, go get me that woman. Get her for me. Get her and bring her back here. Now, David's the king, so they're going to follow his orders. But they're like, hey, ain't this Uriah's wife? Ain't this Eliam's daughter? They knew that something wicked was transpiring. Instantly, they like, why are you sending for her? Now, they can't go and break his word because he's the king. He can have him put to death. But they already instantly saw this brother being idle. He walking around the roof. What you walking up there for? Ain't nothing going on. He's walking around. And I just so happened to see this woman taking a shower over there. So happened. Oh, okay. I went up at the right, perfect time by accident and caught this woman taking a shower. All right. Okay. Let's go to, I got an article. It says the triggers of sexual desire.
The triggers of sexual desire, men versus women. But it says part 1, are male brains hardwired to see females as sex objects?
Go ahead.
Are you want me to?
Yeah, get those bullet points.
All right, key points. For men, erotic stimuli immediately activates the parts of their brains related to getting an erection.
It said erotic stimuli immediately. Did it say over time?
Nope.
Immediately. Listen, when I said that, I know somebody was sitting at home with, no, it ain't instant. I said seconds. Like, bro, it don't take but seconds for you to be gone. I'm talking about he gone. He's somewhere else. I'm telling you, see his head get to turning? Psh, go shake that brother. Do something. Help him out. Because he gone. He's somewhere else.
Say slap him.
Slap him. Do something. Throw some water in his face. Help that brother because he's gone. And then he talking about, nah, I ain't going to say that. Go back to the article.
All right, second bullet point. Because men are sexually stimulated visually, many adult sites targeting men focus on body parts.
So these adult sites, they get to get the attention of the man, they only focus on body parts. It didn't say nothing about a face. It said it focused on body parts. Why? Because he want to see the goodies. When he see the goodies, that's what's going to get him. Come on. And women know this too. That's why they walk around the streets and you see them. What are they trying to show? The goodies. Mm-hmm. Come on.
The third point. Unlike women, men's sexual arousal can exist totally independent of a relationship.
Wait a minute. What? He says he can have sexual arousal independent of a relationship, meaning he don't have to have no relationship with you to think of you sexually. He don't got to be involved with you to get there. All he got to do is see what? The goodies. And he can be there. He can be in the midst of adulterous thoughts. That's why you marry brothers. It's brothers that don't even look at their wife before they leave the house. She got on something that's clearly revealing. It's like, brother, why didn't you get your wife in order before she left the house? Why did you allow her to leave like this? It didn't get amongst the body. That brother can't control that immediate thing that hit his mind when she walked in and she saw something, or he saw something on her that he never saw before. He couldn't even control it. He don't have his senses exercised to be able to control it. So you have to stop that before she leave the house. Come on, go back to the article. I'm going to be quiet. Go ahead, read it.
Men are visual. To begin with, it's essential to note that the literature specifically studying men's arousal patterns, gay as well as straight, has repeatedly emphasized their sensitivity to visual cues. As soon as the lust-inspiring image registers in their brain, they become turned on, not only physically, but psychologically too. Exposure to such erotic stimuli immediately activates the parts of their brain related to getting an erection. And as August and Gundam suggest, men's greater sex drives may be partially due to the fact that their sexual motivation pathways have more connections to the subcortical reward system than in women.
So meaning you are hardwired to be freakier than everybody else. Come on.
In short, men's brains are designed to objectify females.
Damn, it says your brain is wired in the way to objectify them. You wired to go and look for these things. It's like she could be talking to you and you having at an interview or at a place of business and she talking to you about one thing and your brain keep trying to All right, you trying to figure out how to look at the goodies. You're not even thinking about and the return policy is, oh, dang, she's still looking in my eyes. All right, dang, I want to look and check this out so bad. This is where brother's mind is at. Not me, but this is where brothers' minds are at. They try it. Some of these, especially brothers with dirty filters. Come on. I know sisters like, oh, okay, this is how brothers get down. This is how brothers get down. Watch them.
Frustrated women have frequently and cynically complained that men's brains are located between their legs.
Come on.
But the author's more scientifically grounded viewpoints seek to elucidate the strategic and frankly unwilled connection between the male's brain and his genitals. It's therefore no coincidence that many adult sites targeting men zero in on body parts. Ogus and Gunnams, the computational neuroscientists that they are, cite fantastic.cc to point out that of their 100 top rated images, no fewer than 23 exhibit close-ups of female anatomy without a face.
Female anatomy without a face. He didn't need to see the face. Now, go ahead down to that next part you was just at in the article. Yes, I want that.
Male desire can exist independent of a relationship. Additionally, the authors talk about male desire as a solitary affair. That is, the single-minded pursuit of sexual arousal can exist totally independent of a relationship. Getting off has precious little to do with emotional intimacy. A man can sit alone, have mesmerized before his computer screen
or phone
as he intently clicks on images and videos in his hunt for what will immediately ignite his libido. Unlike his female counterpart, he gives little or no thought to actual sharing his erotic predilections.
Meaning, wait a second. So he said he won't share, meaning he's going to go somewhere and be off by himself doing this. He's not including her in on it. This is between him, his phone, and whatever bottle of lotion he got. That's their business. She not involved. Come on.
Or experiences with friends, and searching for stimuli that will engender or enhance sexual excitement and ultimately create a most pleasurable dopamine release is quite apart from any tender feelings or craving for a genuinely intimate human attachment. Literally and symbolically, it's masturbatory. Sex for one.
Sex for one. That's what he want. I have one. That's it. That's all I need on this. That's all he want. One. That's it. He don't need no help. Just him, his phone, and one. That's it. He done. And that's what it becomes. But that's lasciviousness. It's lasciviousness. But it starts in the mind. For men, it starts a lot quicker. So we have to be able to control that thought. We have to be able to stop it. How can we stop that? Let's get a filter. Let's get something that we can spray on our filter and clean it out. Let's get Sirach 9 and 5. Because with men, it said it starts with the visual, meaning them seeing you. From the moment they see you, that's when it clicks. So how do we fix it?
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 5. Gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her.
Meaning, stop looking at her that you don't fall by looking at the goodies. When she walk by, don't go staring at that sister. Let the sister go by. Say shalom, keep it moving. Brothers in the truth. Brothers in the world, listen, the way to beat this, stop looking at them with lustful eyes. Stop it. If you can stop doing that, you're going to save. That's one way of cleaning that filter. You can at least clean that part of the filter because you stop your brain from going to that place. Now you're implementing God's laws. Now you're implementing the principles of the scriptures, and that's what's going to help you clean it. So now let's go back to 2 Samuel. And let's read. What do I want? Did we read? Let's get 3 and 4.
This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 3 and verse 4. Chapter 11 and verse 3. And David sent and inquired after the woman, and one said, Is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? And David sent messengers, and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her. For she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned unto her house.
So they hooked up. They had what was it, Will Smith's wife would call an entanglement. So they hooked up. She went over there, got with him, and he sent her home. It wasn't an emotional attachment. They was not working towards, we're trying to build a relationship. He sent her home. And anyway, I'm not even going to say that right now. Go to Sirach 9 and 7.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 7. Look not round about thee in the streets of the city.
Meaning, when you brothers are in traffic, you rolling, don't be looking around about. You're going to see all kind of crazy stuff, especially summer's about to hit really soon. You're going to see skin and body parts like you've never seen before because we're getting worse and worse and worse as a people. But don't be looking round about. When you're sitting there and you see somebody walk by, just don't pay no attention. Let them just walk by. Let them go past. So that way you don't put yourself in a position where you're destroying your mind. Let them pass, please, brothers. Come on.
Neither wander thou in the solitary places thereof. Turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. For herewith love is kindled as a fire. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction.
So through that fire is the burning that's going to develop from you looking at her. Now you went from looking at her in the streets, you've been watching her, you gazed on her, and then you took it up a notch and you went and sat with her. It's just going downhill because your filter is not clean. If you would have stopped it all the way back and not looking at her, when you see her in the streets, don't pay her no attention. Definitely don't go hook up with her and sit with her. That's what's going to keep you on the right path. But if you let yourself go, you'll end up in the wrong place. 1 Timothy 2 and 9. And sisters, you play a part in this. You play a part in this because like we go on the streets or even you hear on Clubhouse, oh my goodness, brothers be going in on Clubhouse. And there was a sister on there recently. She wants to argue about how it's all right for her to dress like a whore. Why not? And this, back and forth and this. And it's like, wait a minute. Sister, you're being told this, one, for protection for you. Because everybody's not going to be a good brother. You walk around here dressed crazy. Somebody might be fresh out of jail. Somebody may be just haven't had whatever and not have the morality to say, listen, that's not my woman. Let me leave her alone. Somebody might bop you over head and pull you in a corner. And you enticed them. Because you gave them something to look at to put them in that mind frame. But had you taken that away and said, you know what, let me follow this, read it.
This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9.
This is how you defeat it. You could take that whole thought out of his head just by doing this.
In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair or gold, or pearls, or costly array.
Meaning, if you dress in a way that does not show or try to bring forth sexual attention, you won't get sexual attention. And sisters in the truth, y'all know it. You know when you go out now versus before you came into the truth, the attention you get is different. Even brothers in the world will be like, hey, sister, how you doing, sister? Not, hey, ma, how you doing? And they trying to get at you and, oh, you got a man with, so what? You can't have friends and all the crazy stuff brothers said to sisters? They're not saying that to you now. They walking up to you totally different, if they even walk up to you, because a lot of them now are intimidated by you because they don't see you as on their level. They see you as unattainable. So they don't even think about you. Now you can walk by and they're not even putting it in their mindset that I can have her. They thinking they looking at you and they looking at themselves and they saying, nah, she ain't messing with me. I'm not right for her. She gonna tell me no. I don't even know what to say to her. Her conversation gonna be different. When I pulled up with these rims, she don't care about my rims. Her clothes showed that she don't care about my rims, my Jordans, my chains. She don't give a damn.
Hey, Cap. It's like their clothes automatically demands respect from the men.
Exactly. It's just like any other uniform. When you see a police officer, you know he's a police officer, unless he's undercover. You know a doctor is a doctor or a medical professional. If you go into the hospital and somebody come out dressed outside of a medical professional, you're not going to let them take you in the back room and take your temperature. He got on a chef jacket. You're like, what the hell is this? You're going to be like, yeah, no. Can you go get the doctor? Can you go get a nurse? Can you go get a medical professional? That's what you're going to be looking for. So it matters. What you wear matters. Now, I want you to, dang, I had these pictures. Let me see if I can send them to you real quick. Hold on. Just bear with me, y'all. Aaron, speak.
And another point that, a good point you were bringing out a second ago was in Sirach. Read Sirach 9 and 7 again.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Look not round about thee in the streets of the city,
Mm-hmm.
neither wander thou in the solitary places thereof.
Actually, start up at 5.
Verse 5, gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her.
So just like Cap was bringing out, all this stuff starts in our mind. And most of us know that if we gaze upon a sister, we know what's happening. We try to trick ourselves to say, okay, well, I see a sister walking by, and a lot of times we say things like, I just want to see her hair, or I want to see what she was wearing, or some brothers do things like, oh, man, she wearing the worst clothes. Man, look at them clothes. And you watching her walk away with them wicked-ass clothes on. But you already know. You shouldn't be looking at her, but go ahead.
Verse 6, give not thy soul unto harlots, that thou lose not thine inheritance.
Go ahead.
Look not round about thee in the streets of the city.
So also, like Cap was saying, safeguard your mind. You got to know where not to go. There's some places you just cannot go. You go to Walmart, at least here in Detroit. If you go to Walmart, or certain places you just do not go. If you're a weak brother, there's certain places you cannot go because you know what you're about to see. Go ahead.
Neither wander thou in the solitary places thereof.
The solitary places. So you can take this into a physical thing, or you can take it to like the internet. It says, read it again. Read that last word again.
Wander thou in the solitary places thereof.
Those solitary places. That's when you're on your phone at the house, idle by yourself. The scripture says don't do that. Go ahead.
Turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman.
So I can take it both ways. So you say you're on the internet, right? You see a beautiful woman online, or you see a video. There's a ton of videos out there. Most of the videos most videos we're watching on our phones that come up that are streaming, that are like on a platform and things like that. These are the things tend to have the women in it, tend to have them dressed immodestly. And we know not to watch them, but instead we click on them anyways. Go ahead.
And look not upon another's beauty.
Mm-hmm.
For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman.
Uh-huh.
For herewith love is kindled as a fire.
It's the same thing that was brought out in 2 Samuel about David. So he knew once he got up on that roof and he happened to see her. It don't say that he came up there for that intention, but he saw her. He knew at some point that he probably should look away, that he should probably leave the roof and go do something different. But he was deceived by it. Read on. Read the last part. So for herewith.
For herewith love is kindled as a fire.
The love was kindled because he said, bring me that woman. When he saw the shoulder, he saw whatever he saw the suds. He said, I got to get that woman. Whatever it was.
Right. Saw them suds dripping down. And like, oh, yeah.
Whatever it was, he
It's
saw it.
on.
He had to have it.
I got to have that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, did y'all get those pictures, brothers? All right. Pull those pictures up. I want to get this because what we're talking about is we just was reading in 1 Timothy, right? And we was reading about modest apparel. I want you to pull this up. Pull this up. Blow it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, that's good. What you are looking at is a picture drawn of a hooker in the 1800s and 1900s, early 1900s. This is a hooker. That's a prostitute. But look how she dressed. You can't see, look, I mean, like, she's getting a little risque with the cut of the top of the dress. What women wear today, not you righteous women, but what these women are out here wearing today, a hooker in those times would say, no, that's too revealing. That's too much. Give me your next one. Watch this hooker. Look at this. Now, this is a photograph.
And she fully clothed.
But blow it up. Let's see. Keep her whole body in the picture. So do whatever you got to do. Just make sure you keep her whole body in the picture. All right, good enough. Not only does she got her head covered, she got an umbrella to cover that. She got her neck covered. You can't even see this woman's neck. Then she's showing you she got on boots, but her dress drags to the ground. You can't see her ankle. You can't see a toenail. Only thing you can see on her is her face and her hands. And she's a hooker. This hooker is more, listen, this hooker is more modest than some sisters walking to school. This is a street walking prostitute. And if she was to see women today that are not prostitutes but are just so-called regular sisters, she would say, oh no, that's far too, I could never wear that. A hooker would be appalled at the attire of women today. No, I wouldn't wear that. Give me that last picture. This, also a hooker, during the early 1900s. Again, you can't see her neck. She got on a long sleeve dress that drags the ground. Only thing you can see is some of the top of her wrist and her hands and her face. That's it. That's all you're getting. And she used that to entice people to come and give her money for sex. So sisters out here, I don't know what they doing. They walking around, I'm talking about when I say you can see everything, you can see everything. There's nothing left to the imagination. You saw everything. You don't have to imagine, well, I wonder what the breasts look like. No, you don't have to imagine. Some of them wearing a see-through top that you can see all the breasts. It's like, what was the point of the top? Like, what did you put it on for? It's not stopping the wind. It's not, you showing off. You might as well just walked out topless. And let me not say that because somebody going to say, that's a good idea.
Hey, Cap, it's already getting like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty soon, they're not going to have anything on. And I remember this was some years ago, and I believe it still holds true to this day when they say that, what is it, the 4-second rule or something like that? Like you have a couple seconds.
4 seconds too long.
Yeah, right.
See,
right.
4 seconds is back when they was dressed from the neck down.
Right, and it's like the less clothes they have on, the less time you can actually look at them.
Yep.
So that's one of the things that we have to be mindful of, that it's getting wickeder and wickeder, so we have to adjust with the wickedness.
Exactly. It's like we got to adjust us to make sure that we can combat the wickedness that we see in these streets. Mm-hmm. So, but the women of that time would be absolutely appalled at the dress code of women today. Appalled. And this was prostitutes. Let's go to Sirach 11:2.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 2. Commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance.
So it goes the other way, sister. Don't commend a man because he look good. He coming in, he's well groomed. I mean, that's good that you well groomed and look good, but it happens the same way with women. It already showed in that video we watched that women make a decision whether or not they want to have sex with you as soon as they see you, just like a man. As soon as they see you, they already know if they want to. That doesn't mean that they're going to, but they know that they want to. But don't commend him for his beauty. Don't give him that honor. You should be holding on to your chastity. That's a thing of greatness and glory. You want to give that to the right person. You don't even want to even have that thought about somebody that's not the right person, that you vetted. You went through leadership. They said, listen, this is the right man for you. Move forward with this brother. He's been proven. He's been tested. We know that he's going to treat you right. We know that he's going to lead his house. He's going to be a good husband to you. He's going to protect you. He's going to provide for you. Go with this brother. And then even after that, you still have to prove that brother. And then once it gets to the point where you're going to get married, now you're safe to kind of start thinking like, okay, yeah, I can see that. He can get it. Like the sister said, he can get it. All right. Then you're safe. Now you've done it the proper way. But don't let that thought creep in before that. Not because he looks good. Not because his feet big. Not because his hands big. Not because he tall. Oh, he tall. You see him? He tall. No, that's not why. So we both, as men and women, have to make sure that we're cleaning our filter on this. Let's get Proverbs 6:32.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, and verse, you said 32?
Yes, sir.
But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul.
So when you commit adultery with a woman, you destroy your own soul. Your soul is now in the midst of destruction. Come on.
A wounded and dishonored shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away.
Come on.
For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts.
So that person, when they catch you in the midst of adultery, there's no talking to them. There's no discussion. All they have in them is rage, and they are going to turn that rage on to you. And lots of times on to the person that you were committing adultery with. And it don't matter what you say, it don't matter what you do. You have now destroyed your soul, because that person, they just seeing red. And they're not going to stop until they see your blood spill. A lot of them. Trust me on this. So, again, we have power over this. We have the ability to cleanse this out of us. Let's go back. Let's get that cleansing. Let's get that cleansing agent again. Let's get it. Psalms 19:7. One more time.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
Come on.
The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes.
So the statutes of the Lord rejoice the heart. It rejoices your mind. You can rejoice when you're doing things the right way. You should feel a sense of accomplishment when you was able to sit back. You had temptation come upon you. Brothers, it may be a sister walking by dressed just the way you like it. Like some of y'all brothers with the blonde hair the way y'all like it. No, I know y'all can't fool me. But she walked by the way you like it, and you was able to overcome that. Sisters, you saw that tall brother with the big hands walk by, and you was able to just look past that brother. You should rejoice at that. You made it. You made it past that test. Stay in the commandments. Stay in the statutes. You'll be able to pass the next one and the next one and the next one. You have to continuously cleanse that filter. Read on.
The fear of the Lord is clean. enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward.
When you can keep these commandments, you will receive great reward. Why? Remember, you're not defiled by what goes in you, but what comes out. So guess what? Now that you're keeping these commandments and you stand true to that, now you're going to get the reward. What's the reward going to be? The kingdom. Everlasting life. And everything that comes with that. You'll get all of that if you're able to just cleanse your filter, because you become what you think about the most. That's what's going to be prevalent on you. So now, let's get to the next section. Murder and an evil eye. Let's deal with that. Let's deal with murder and an evil eye. I got a video. It's about road rage. Let me get that video. This happened not too long ago.
That child was 6-year-old Aiden Leos. He was a kindergartner who was on his way to school this morning when he was killed. Take a look. The CHP says it happened on the 55 freeway near Chapman at about 8 this morning. The mother says a car with a female driver and a male passenger cut her off, and she tried to go around them. That's when she heard a single gunshot and her 6-year-old Aiden Leos saying, "Mommy, my tummy hurts." She pulled over and realized he'd been shot by a bullet that went through the trunk of the car and hit him as he sat in his booster seat. Little Aiden and Mom, as I said, were on their way to his school. He was a kindergartner who had just turned 6 this month. Now his older sister, Alexis, and his uncle are pleading for justice for little Aiden.
So, what happened in this situation was it was road rage. She had a quick moment. I'm talking about when I say a quick moment, the driver of the car had a quick moment with another driver on the road. I think the driver honked. She threw the finger up at the driver and kept rolling. Well, that driver rolled up and shot one singular shot at her car. That shot went through her trunk, through the booster seat for the child, and then into the child's stomach and killed the child. Because of whatever happened in that quick moment on the road and her throwing the finger up, that child is now dead. But because we have so much wickedness and evil in our hearts, we got that evil eye towards our brothers and sisters, we got that murderous spirit on us, that this is the end result. Now, let's go to Ecclesiastes 7-9. We have to be able to reform our hearts, which is our minds.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, and verse 9. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools.
So don't be hasty to be angry. Don't be quick to be angry and to be upset about something. We have to learn how to be patient and look back and say, well, whatever this is, I might not even understand it. This is the cleansing process. I don't understand what's happening, or I might not even like what's happening. But that doesn't mean I have to get out of the spirit and get angry because of what somebody else is doing. You go ahead and you do what you're doing. I'm going to let you go by. You want to cut off, go ahead in there. Fine. I'd rather you go do foolishness away from me than around me. No problem. But we're not in that mind, because we're so caught up in what we want, where we want to be, and then whatever seconds you was going to lose in your drive, that took away somebody's life. And we got to really understand that we have to slow down. We shouldn't be so quick to jump on the angry train. Slow down. Wait a second. Assess. Think about it. So let's go to Sirach 8:16. Let's get that.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 8 and verse 16. Strive not with an angry man.
Wait a minute. Strive not with an angry man. Even when the situation erupted on the freeway that they were going through, that driver, the woman, she didn't have to make a concerted effort to throw her finger up at the person. She could have left them in their ignorance. Could have, you know what, whatever. I don't know why you're mad. Okay, no problem. We'll go by. Whatever it is. And guess what? Her son will be here today. But because she chose to let them put the spirit on her, and the spirit just came from, you know how you see them in the mirror, and they throwing fingers at you and all this different stuff and hitting their horn. Some horn noises, some facial gestures, and somebody's hand gesture towards you will cause you to do the same thing. Why didn't you look on them and say, this person's going crazy? No, I'm going to go crazy with you. No. I should be slow to anger. Finish that, or was that it?
Nope. Strive not with an angry man, and go not with him into a solitary place.
She went with him into the same place he was. And that solitary place he was in a place of anger. She let herself get there. Go ahead.
For blood is as nothing in his sight.
And blood was as nothing in that man's sight, because he didn't, as soon as she reacted the way that he was acting, that turned on the blood. It was time for blood at that point. Come on.
And where there is no help, he will overthrow thee.
And nobody was there to help, and he overthrew her by shooting a single shot through her trunk, which went through her son and killed him. But this is why we have to be able to control our spirit. We can't control the spirits around us. We can't control what they do. They're going to do what they do. But the best thing we can do is remove ourselves from them and not let them pull us into the spirit that they're in. Because that's what happens. Like people want to match your energy. No. I don't need to match your energy, because that means I'm rolling in your energy. No, I'm going to stay in my energy. I'm going to stay where I'm supposed to be. I'm not going to let you pull me over there where you are. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to stay where I am. And I'm going to deflect what you're trying to bring to me. That's the spirit we need to roll in. And this is how we need to clean our filters. And a lot of times, even in this truth, we'll be offended at something. Something happened to us during this truth. Somebody said something that we didn't like. And the first thing we want to do is get combative, instead of saying, well, wait a minute. For one, I don't know why this person is coming at me this way. I've done nothing to them. Even the thing they're talking about, it could be a misunderstanding. Listen, let me take myself down a notch. Let me make sure, let me clear this up. Let me make it right with you. Let me apply Matthew 18, which the ultimate goal of Matthew 18 is to gain back your brother and sister, not to correct you. Let me just listen. Let me do this. Okay, I can't get you with Matthew 18. Guess what? I'm going to take the fault. That's you putting yourself in a position to succeed and cleanse your filter, not meeting their energy. So I want to see in Google, look up anger. I want to see the definition of anger.
Yeah, IT.
Anger, A-N-G-E-R. You got to spell it for them. You know?
There you go.
All right. Blow that up a little bit. All right, let's read this.
Anger, a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility.
Let's get the synonyms.
Synonym, annoyance, vexation, exasperation, irritation, irritability, indignation. It's that pick. Displeasure, resentment, rage, fury, wrath, outrage, temper, road rage.
Road rage. It's like all of these different things. Aggravation, ire, choler, bile, ill humor. All of these things are tied to anger. So guess what we're supposed to do? We're supposed to fight against those things going into our minds, because we know what the end result can be. It can lead us down the path of murder. And not to say that we're going to actually go and physically murder somebody, but just genuinely having put those synonyms back up. Having wrath towards, I'm just picking and choosing. Having irritability towards your brother or sister. Irritation towards your brother or sister. Annoyance. All of these things are leading you down the path of hatred and murder. You may not physically touch them, but if you have any of these feelings toward them, then now, my fault, there's another, one good one right there in the middle. Displeasure and resentment. Displeasure and resentment. You can have just that and understand that you don't even realize that you're in the midst of anger. You're in the midst of an angry spirit, and you need to clear that filter. So let's deal with it. Let's go to 1 Samuel 18:5.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 18 and verse 5. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul sent him over the men of war. And Saul set him over the men of war. And he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. And it came to pass, as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the women came out of all cities in Israel, singing and dancing, to meet King Saul, with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played, and said, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. And he said, They have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? And Saul eyed David from that day and forward. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house. And David played with his hand as at other times, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice.
So Saul had, what did he have first? What happened first? Bring those definitions back up real quick, because I want one of them synonyms, because the synonym is in the scripture. Right there, it's on the second row, displeasure. When you read it, he says in verse 8, and Saul was very wroth, that's wrath, and the saying displeased him. Right then, he was in the midst of anger, and which grew into hatred, which grew into murder. You can take it down. So because Saul had that javelin in his hand, and he cast it at David. He tried to kill David. He tried to make it go through David and stick him to the wall. This was his intention. All because, where did it start? He didn't have hatred while David was going out killing his tens of thousands. He didn't have no hatred then. When did the hatred come? Because he heard women singing a song. Oh, they gave him more people. He killed more than me according to this song. I'm going to kill him. It didn't take much, but that grew hatred in him. And guess what? Now that evil spirit of the Lord is on him. He can't even shake it. Now let's get chapter 20 and verse 4.
1 Samuel chapter 20 and verse 4. Then said Jonathan unto David, Whatsoever thy soul desireth, I will even do it for thee. And David said unto Jonathan, Behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I should not fail to sit with the king at meat. But let me go, that I may hide myself in the field until the third day at even.
So the new moon was about to come, and David knew. He was just trying to use wisdom, because Saul has actually tried to kill him multiple times at this point for no reason, nothing that David has done. But because Saul has an evil eye now towards David, he hates David, and he's trying to kill him. And David is a faithful servant, faithful, most trusted, his top general, everything. This is your number one man. And because of some jealousy that rose up in you, now you want to kill him. So, drop down to verse 27. So now the new moon is approaching. He's trying to work with Jonathan, Saul's son, to try to figure out how to get out of this so he doesn't have to be in the presence of his father, because he knows his father has hatred for him and is likely going to try to kill him. Come on.
Verse 27. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month, that David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, Wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to meet, neither yesterday nor today? And Jonathan answered Saul, David earnestly asked leave of me to go to Bethlehem. And he said, Let me go, I pray thee, for our family hath a sacrifice in the city. And my brother, he hath commanded me to be there. And now, if I have found favor in thine eyes, let me get away, I pray thee, and see my brethren. Therefore he cometh not unto the king's table. Then Saul's anger was kindled against Jonathan, and he said unto him, Thou son of the perverse, rebellious woman.
Damn. So because Jonathan helped out David, he started talking about his mama. He said, damn, your mama was a perverse and rebellious woman. He like, what the hell? Come on.
Do not I know that thou hast chosen the son of Jesse to thine own confusion, and unto the confusion of thy mother's nakedness?
He just goes in and starts blasting Jonathan for helping David get away. But Jonathan and David both knew that Jonathan was still on the fence a little bit. He didn't really know that his father was actually out to get him. But now it's confirmed. Now it's confirmed that David, he had to get away. But why is David getting away? Why is David saying, I got to separate from Saul? I got to get away from him. He's using his filter. Let's go to Proverbs 23, and I want verse 6.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 23, and verse 6. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye.
Wait a minute, it said do what?
Eat thou not the bread of him that have an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats.
So David said, I'm not eating with him because this dude has an evil eye towards me. That's why he didn't eat with him. The same thing which they didn't know it, but David's sons later, when Absalom, he had an evil eye towards them. And they went to dinner with him and he killed them. But, well, he ended up only killing, what's his name? Amnon. Mm-hmm. But the point is don't eat with somebody that got an evil eye towards you. Amnon didn't know. But David, he understood. He like, no, I'm not going there. I'm not going for the new moon celebration over there with him because this dude hate me. I don't know if he's going to poison my food. I don't know if he's going to just try to have a servant roll up on and kill me in the middle of I don't know what's going to happen. So he separated himself. He followed the scriptures. Mark 7:16.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 16. If any man have ears to hear, let him hear. And when he was entered into the house from the people, his disciples asked him concerning the parable. Mm-hmm. And he said unto them, Are ye so without understanding also? Do ye not perceive that whatsoever thing from without entereth into the man, it cannot defile him?
So no matter what enters you, it cannot defile you. Talking about food or stuff like that, that won't defile you. Read on.
Because it entered not into his heart.
Because what?
It entered not into his heart.
Because it's entering into your belly, not into your mind. The things that enter into your mind now, that can start to defile you. You can start to be destroyed by what you let in your mind, one, because your mind is already clogged up. And now the things that you run through it, guess what's going to happen? It's running through those filters. And what's going to come out is wickedness. What's going to come out is defilement. That's what's going to happen. So this is why we got to understand. It's not what enters our belly that defiles us. It's what enters into our mind and comes through our clogged filters that's going to defile us. Come on.
But into the belly, and goeth out into the drought, purging all meats. Mm-hmm. And he said, That which cometh out of the man, that defileth the man.
And you're defiled by what's going to come out of you. So I got an article. We got to stop this real soon. But I got an article. Let's pull this. I ain't going to get nowhere close to finishing this. It's called Your Perception is Your Reality.
How your perception is your reality, according to psychologists. There are two types of people in this world: those who view the glass as half full and those who see the glass as half empty. This phenomena is called perception, and our perceptions profoundly impact how we experience life. Perception molds, shapes, and influences our experiences of our personal reality, says Linda Humphreys, PhD.
I'm a PhD. Go ahead.
A psychologist and life, relationship, and spirituality coach. Perception is merely a lens or mindset from which we view people, events, and things.
Our perception is the mindset. Go back. I want to read that. Go back up. Go back up. It says, our perception is merely a lens or mindset from which we view people, events, and things. Meaning, it may not be right because it's coming through our lens. This is how we perceive this thing. But this is how we view people, events, and things. Go ahead.
In other words, we believe what we perceive to be accurate, and we create our own realities based on those perceptions. And although our perceptions feel very real, that doesn't mean they're necessarily factual.
So just because something seems real to you, you feel like, I know it. This is what happened. I saw this or I saw that. Doesn't always mean that that's exactly what happened. Like, it's been many times, and I'm sure brothers maybe before this truth, hopefully not in this truth, where it may seem you did something that you actually didn't do. Like, you may have your wife telling you, because you grabbed your phone a certain way, and you walked over there. Her perception is, he did that because he's cheating on me. And he's talking to that B. He's sending, it's that B. So he's sending a text message to that B right now. Like, what the hell? This is Captain such and such, and I'm talking to, what the hell are you talking about? But in her mind, her perception, that's what it is. And guess what's going to happen? You can't erase that. There's nothing you're going to do. What you can say, listen, what are you talking about? Here, look at the phone. Was that what it? Mm-hmm. No, what's next? Remember, she's going to go back to the article because it says something. What's going to be next? Right there from the top.
In other words, we believe what we perceive to be accurate, and we create our own realities based on those perceptions.
So, based on her perception, even when you show her the phone, which I'm not saying you should do that, but when you show her the phone, what is she going to say? I know brothers can come up with that on your own. He erased it before he showed it to me. Why? That continues her thought. She's going to stay right there. Same way, it goes the other way too, sisters. I know they sitting up, because every time you talk about a sister, I mean, you can't even mention a sister without them saying, well, what about the man?
What about the man?
What about the man? That's the first thought in her head. It's like, what the hell wrong with y'all? But anyway, so the point is that instantly it's going to convert. That thought is going to continue to evolve. There's nothing you can do. But why? And you may say to yourself, brothers that's been through this situation or situations like this, where something's been said falsely about you. You try to show facts, you try to explain it, to try to clear things up, and it don't matter how much you explain. It don't matter what you do. No matter what, it's going to stay that in their mind. And guess what happens? Even when you prove some parts of it wrong, where, all right, well, I might not be able to prove your whole lie against me wrong, but I can show this, and I can show that, and I can show this. Then what are they going to do? They're going to evolve it around those things. It's going to convert into something else, but it's going to continue on the same path of an evil eye. It's an evil eye. That's exactly what it is, and that's exactly how it works. And it's going to continue down that path. But why? Because that's their perception. And that perception is now their reality. And there's nothing you can do, right or wrong, to change that. That's where they are. I don't care what you do. You can go, you can take a lie detector test. You can do this. An angel can come down and speak to them. They still going to say, see, that was a male angel. The angel's working with y'all. It's misogynistic. I don't believe it. It's like, what? It's over there somewhere. There's nothing you can do. So now let's get Romans 8 and 5. I got to wrap this up real soon. Romans 8 and 5.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit.
So basically, it's about where you are. Is your mind in a fleshly place, or is your mind in a spiritual place? Because that's the filter of how you're going to perceive information that you receive. If you're thinking about things in a way that is not according to Scripture, you're not following Scripture in the way you're building your thoughts, coming up with your conclusions and how you're filtering it through, guess what? You coming at it in a way that is, I just want to use the same words, fleshly way. Your mind is after the flesh. But when you're going through the Scriptures and you're saying, well, okay, according to this is how it should be done, this is what it is, this is how I should handle it. Okay, matter of fact, I shouldn't even let this thought bubble up in my mind. Do I have information? Do I have anything? Do I have documentation? Do I have anything that helps support this thought? If not, I need to throw it away, because according to Scriptures, it shouldn't even be established without 2 or 3 witnesses. But no, I don't need that, because again, remember I said in the beginning, it's going to start with pride, because I think going to become, it's true. It don't matter if it's true. In your mind, I think becomes it's true. He did text that B. I know that's what he did. And now you're going to run off in that direction. Everything you're going to do from that point is going to be based on your thoughts that he was texting that B. And I'm telling you, sister's crazy. They will have a specific B in mind, too. It's not even just some random B. It's that B on your job, or is that, you know what I mean? It's a specific B. You know what I mean? It's like how the hell, what the heck is you talking about? And in her mind, she done built a whole concept of you and this B. So now let's get 1 Timothy 6 and 4. I'm going to wrap it up real soon, because I don't even have much more time. What I say, 1 Timothy 6 and 4.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6 and verse 4. He is proud, knowing nothing, but doting from question and strifes of words, whereof cometh envy, strife, railing, evil surmisings.
So this is a person that's going contrary to the teachings that we were taught. They are going to be, what is it? What is living that list? He is proud. The very first thing, remember I told you, everything goes back to pride. That person is going to be proud. And they ended off in that verse with evil surmisings. Let's look up surmising. What does that mean? Let me get that definition on Google. Matter of fact, before you get surmising, let me get evil. I know that's something we probably don't even look up, evil. We think I understand evil, because y'all are evil. I'm messing with y'all. But you think you understand evil. Let's see what evil, the definition of evil is.
Evil, profoundly immoral and wicked.
Profoundly immoral and wicked. Let's get the synonyms.
Wicked, bad, wrong, wrongful, immoral, sinful, ungodly, unholy, foul, vile, base, ignoble, dishonorable, corrupt, iniquitous, depraved, degenerate, villainous, nefarious, sinister,
ooh yeah,
vicious, malicious, what is that?
Malevolent,
demonic, devilish,
diabolical, devilish, demonic. This is evil. All right, so we got to put it together. Now let's get surmising definition. Or surmise. Yep. Let's see this one.
Surmise. What is that? Guarant or present. Suppose that something is true without having evidence to confirm it.
So to surmise is to think something is true without having evidence. You have no evidence to back up what you're saying, but you think it's true. You don't have a videotape. You ain't got a witness. You don't have nothing. But in your mind, it's true. Now we got to remember, we got to put this together with the other one. So let's read some of these synonyms.
A guess.
You have a guess.
Conjecture.
You have conjecture.
suspect,
You have a suspicion.
deduce,
You have deduced.
infer, conclude, theorize.
You got a theory.
Speculate,
Uh-huh.
glean, divine, assume.
You have an assumption. Now, wait a minute. Let's put this together because we got to put them together because it's called evil surmising. So if you have a guess, a conjecture, a suspicion, if you have an assumption and you don't have evidence, because that's what a surmising is, or it's to surmise, meaning, and it's evil. Now it's evil because you don't have those things, right? So now it's a bad assumption. It's a wrong assumption. It's a demonic assumption or a guess or conjecture. This is what evil surmising is. And a lot of y'all people, men and women, y'all out here doing this all day, every day. You have come up with these thoughts in your mind that are and then this would be so horrifying about it. If you ask them, they'll say, no, I don't have any evidence. What the hell are we talking about it for? Again, so you are going to be, you need to go show forth adherence to the scriptures or you not. And that's how it all boils down. You either adhere to what this Bible says or you are not. And then when these people do these things and they end up on the outside of the body and all of this, and they feel like they're wronged. They're suffering wrongfully. What scriptures are you reading? But this is what we got to look at. This is where we got to go back. We have to go, the ones that believe, we're going to go to these scriptures. We're going to go and apply what they say. So I want to go back to, I'm going to have to wrap it up. I'm going to get a couple more scriptures, and I'm going to wrap this up on this one. So let's get Proverbs 23. Again, I know we hit it, but there's some more in there. There's some more smell on that bone, as Bishop Yawasat would say. He'll get the smell off the bone. I'm talking about, it ain't nothing left when he get done with it. Come on.
Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 6. Yep, is that the one you want?
Yep.
Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats.
And so this person is a person that has an evil eye against you. It says, don't desire their meat, don't eat with them. Come on.
For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he.
So the way he thinks in his heart, that's the way he is. Meaning, if that person has an evil heart, because they are evil. They are evil. It's not just, oh, I think evil and I'm righteous. No, a good thing cannot come from a bad, or an clean can't come from an unclean. It does not work that way. If in your mind you are thinking evil thoughts most of the time, that's because you are evil. Come on.
Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee.
That person will sit up and be like, oh, no, everything is fine. You can eat, you can come over, we good, we have no problems. They got an evil eye towards you. Do not eat with that person. Don't do nothing with them because they only have evil intentions. Even you may do something genuinely. They're going to find a way for it to be evil because they have an evil eye. They have an evil mind. Come on.
The morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit it up.
That's all I need. I'm sorry. That's good. So, all right. So let me just get a couple of more things. I'm going to end it on this. Let me get 1 John 3 and 11. Yeah, I got a whole lot more to go. This is going to have to be a part 2. So, yeah, we're going to go 1 John 3 and 11.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 11. For this is the message that ye heard from the beginning, that we should love one another. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous.
So Cain slew his brother because of his works being evil, and his works being evil, and his brother's works being good. So what happened? Jealousy crept in. Now he has an evil eye to his brother, and we all know how that played out. He killed his brother. It starts with that evil eye. When they start thinking of you and looking at you in an unrighteous way, get away from these people because they one step away from the next thing you know, they're going to start moving against you. Get away from these people, y'all. I'm telling you. Come on.
Marvel not, My brethren, if the world hate you, we know that we have passed from death unto life, because we love the brethren. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer, and ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him.
And you, the brothers and sisters that are rolling in the spirit with an evil eye and have a hateful eye towards their brothers and sisters, it's not, eternal life is not dwelling in you. It's not there. It is not present. You cannot obtain eternal life with that evil spirit on you. It's impossible. Come on.
Hereby perceive we the love of God, because he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren.
Which goes back to the scripture that says that we are supposed to esteem our brothers better than ourselves. We will lay down our lives for them. We see them as important. We see them as valuable. We see them as the children of God, not as, oh, well, he doing this, and I know why he went in the bathroom with his phone. Yeah, and they're doing, no. That's not, and that means brothers and sisters, husband and wives, children against other children. We have to learn how to love one another as the scriptures tell us. Come on.
But whoso hath this world's good, and seeth his brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwell the love of God in him? My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth.
So what does that mean? If we're going to love, not in word, because it's easier for us to say, oh, I love you, and oh, I care about the brothers and sisters. No, what are you doing? What are your deeds? How are you moving? That's what you're going to be judged on, and that's what we're going to know, how we're going to know if you really believe, if you really love your brothers and sisters. So I'm going to just look at this last scripture real quick and see if I want to bring it out. And if not, then we can go ahead and break bread. Just give me a split second. Let me see if I bring this one. What I got? Yeah, so I'm going to leave it on the note I left it on. So we're going to get ready to break bread, brothers and sisters. I hope class was edifying for y'all. All right, so where we at? Come on, Big Red, you going to bring this out, or you want to go ahead and bring it out?
I'll read it.
All right, so let us break bread.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 23. For I have received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Jesus, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread, and when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat. This is my body, which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. We say this in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Who's the king?
Christ.
Who's the king?
Christ.
Who's the king?
Christ.
What color is he?
Black.
What color is he?
Black.
What color is he?
Black.
Unity.
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 And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His what? His what? His what? His might.
All right, with that, we say shalom. Happy Sabbath, Israel.